So as you can see, I've gone through now and I've modeled these other two little slabs here. And I've taken this one slab and I've taken and moved it down 1 inch because it's supposed to be at 99 foot 11. The first thing we want to do is let's just get this area done and let's model these curbs. Remember we said that these areas that I've highlighted in blue here would be curbs that are at 100 foot O. And so they're only 1 foot tall. So those curbs go from anywhere from 6 inches wide to 8 inches, 6 inches here. I believe this is also 6 inches. And what we're going to do is we're just going to model a bunch of walls and we're going to join them all together so that it all looks like one sort of thing. So let's go create a wall. Now, what I've done is I've created two types of walls, one called curb 8 inches and one called curb 6 inches, right? You just create those. So if we come in and we draw our curve 8 inches, let's say we want to change our location line. Usually if you try and start for the first time, it's going to draw a center line, but that's not what we want. We say we want core face exterior, right? Now, if we look at this in plan, when it draws this, right, it draws it really tall. And theoretically, what we want to do is we want to tell it that we want to set our base offset as -1 so that we make our curb 1 inch tall. Problem is Revit has some weird error, and I've tried figuring out what's going on there, and I honestly have no idea. So what I've decided to do is decided to make the base offset. I can make it 2 inches down where it cuts down into the slab. And what we'll do instead is we'll just join these things together so that we don't get too much concrete volume or anything like that. So let's go ahead and work on modeling the rest of our curves. And then what I do want to do is, let's say our base offset is -0.2. We'll come in and we'll just start drawing these things. Now you can see on this one, it's drawing it on the wrong side, but all I have to do is once it's in there, press spacebar and it flips over. I can do the same thing. I can then go through and model the curb over there. Model the curb here and here. And you can see there's still a little bit of space here, but all I'm going to do is, even though this is only 5.5 inches wide, I am just going to model it in as a 6-inch wide one. They'll overlap, no big deal, because here's what we're going to do. So now you can see all of these have been modeled in here. By the way, one I realized I forgot to tell you. So you see there's the end of the curb right here. So where does that end? And they don't specify, but a good thing for us to generally assume is that it's probably extending down as far past as the thickness of the wall. So because the wall is 6 inches thick, it's probably extending 6 inches down. But always good to ask, does this curb extend 6 inches, 6 inches past the intersection with the west slab? And let's say maybe 6 inches south past the intersection with the west slab. Right? So we can ask those things on plan. Sometimes we only get our answers to things once we've actually built the model. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through and we're going to join. So I can join these things together, right? And it should choose. We want to make sure that it chooses the slab. So, and the way we can tell that is if I click on the slab, I don't see it cutting anything out here. If it was the wrong join order, so you can come in, you can switch join order. What you would see is, you can see if you click on it, the wall is extending down into the slab, and that's not what we want. Like almost like they're cutting the wall out. So we'll go back, switch join order to what it's supposed to be. But you can see also the wall here, it doesn't go down into the slab. So the one thing I am going to do though to make my life easy is I want everything joined to the slab. So I'm going to click multiple join here. And so what I'll do is I'll first click the slab, and now everything I click after it will get joined to that slab. So I can click here, 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 here. And I think that's all of them. You can see we still have this little overlap issue right over here, wherever there are these lines showing. Again, just come in. I'm going to turn multiple join off. I'm going to click here and there. And guess what? Look at that. I'm not sure if I can join those two together. You can see that works really well. And then I wonder if joining these two makes a difference. Let's see here. Because what's great is if we can join these two together, can we unjoin them? Let's try one other thing here. Let's try extending this all the way out here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say disallow join, and then kind of do the, come on, disallow join, bring this back in. Now they're very clearly aligned there. Now if I join those together, those things look a lot better. And doesn't, and it seemed like it wants to work perfectly for us, but we'll just hide any lines on plan when we end up doing the actual annotation and everything like that ourselves. So when we come through, we will just make these into little invisible lines here. Yeah, looks like it's okay. So we'll have that. Oh, it looks like something got messed up with that join. All right. So this is how generally we'll create curbs, especially at flat slabs. And this will give us that little space on top so that we can always make sure. Oh, and there we go. That's also there now. And now if we show this as like shaded colors, we're generally not going to see these lines too much. They're showing a bit, and we might have to adjust these things, but that's okay. At least we know where it's supposed to be. And that's going to be the biggest thing, especially if you're modeling things and then also going through and doing the annotation. Knowing where things are supposed to be and what they're supposed to look like is really, really important. So it really helps when you're the one who modeled it if you're trying to do the annotation as well, because you know where the special cases are. Okay, on the next video, we'll get now to our sloping slab.